topic. We will move on to the next topic, which is something that will be happens in the next couple of days, which is the international, the biggest, one of the biggest, because we have EWC right now, and then, but still the most prestigious Dota 2 tournament in term of annual event from Valve itself, which is the international once again. First question, the hype. Do you guys feel the hype, John?
I'll be frank. I think I've experienced this before when I was watching Dota 2. But do you remember the time when we had majors and minors? I think
Yep.
we had like a tournament almost every month. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost the same thing here. And at that point, I was already following esports, but I really didn't follow at that point. There was just so much happening, so many tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Storylines were kind of trying to be built up. I just couldn't follow it, and I think that's the same feeling I'm getting going into TI. Look, it's hyped up. I'm pretty excited for the tournament itself. I think we have a lot of competitive teams this year. I think from a viewer perspective, there's just been so much going on. I think there's been, dare I say, too much Dota, which is, it's not supposed to be a bad thing. It just feels like, again, it's the saturation. I think the more you show something, eventually the uniqueness of it falls off, especially if you're stuck in the same patch. I think that's one thing as well. I wanted a big patch before we came in. We got a sub patch, and there's no way we're getting a patch 2 days before TI. So
Of
a
course.
completely new meta's out of the window. So yeah.
Okay. How about you, Mike?
I mean, I'm not like, yeah. There's no hype. Like there's zero hype. I was gonna try and sugarcoat it. I'm not. There's zero hype. And it's not even the patch. It's not even the patch. John's just pointing at the patch because he doesn't want to say what it really is. There's no battle pass. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. That's the god of it. Nobody cares. Right?
Okay.
And John says like there's 3 tournaments a month or whatever. That's another thing. They're all the same. Every tournament's the damn same thing, isn't it? Like, it's always the same format. There's no skits. There's no content. Dare I say, it's always the same people attending the event. It's always the same. And that's what TI feels like to me right now. It feels like more of the same. As much as I appreciate the prestige, and I do agree that it's much more prestigious than any other tournament, without a battle pass, without some story, like, I don't even know what the storylines are at the moment. Like, what are the storylines going into the TI? Like, Team Spirit's going to win their 3rd TI. That's the storyline. And it's probably going to happen. It's probably going to happen. Right? That's the storyline. It's not really that exciting, is it? It's...
Yeah,
I don't know.
I quite understand, but yeah, I think the battle pass, the compendium, I think it's one thing that we can enjoy as not the international player. Even for you guys that doing the live streamings or maybe doing the shoutcasting for the international, but still you guys want to be involved in terms of something for the international, not just doing any kind of work, casting, doing a content and everything. But Battle Pass, it's something that we expected this year, but again, it's just kind of a fake hope. I do have this conversation with John, Mike. Like, John still trying to convince me, hey, the Jet, there's a rumor. We still can believe in that.
There was.
I wanted it to.
Of course. I want to believe in that rumors too, because there's there's exact page on the Reddit about the rumors, and then it makes us believe. But somehow after the fake patch that we had right now, which is the leveling up for some 3 set, and then fake hope for the Arcanas, and then the level up for something else, which is the prediction point that makes you get 4 Arcana if you are on the top 100 around the world. That's something crazy. And then you just gonna get 1 year Dota Plus subscription. Come on, guys. I don't have to win that top 100 position to buy a 1 year Dota Plus subscription. But again, please, come on. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, look, I think it's very interesting. I think I'm on a different field for this one, because this is a hot take.
Okay.
I actually think what Valve has done for monetization, if you think about Valve's objectives and their motivations, what they've done for monetizing TI this year is actually impressive. They've made all the games you play in the compendium free. You can take part in predictions. You can take part of fantasy for free. They give free rewards out. it's not amazing, but it wasn't amazing last year anyway. The Compendium was not really amazing for prediction points. So it's
No,
like they kind of amped up their rewards there. What is it?
This is the culmination. I'm gonna defend Valve. This is the culmination of Reddit complaining
Alright.
for 10 years. Reddit has complained non-stop for 10 years about how garbage the battle passes have been.
Mm.
They've complained about the gambling aspects, the RNG, how much money you have to put into it, cosmetics aren't good enough. Oh, I didn't get lucky with my Arcana. Why does CM never give me an I must have spun CM 1,000 times still haven't got an Arcana, and I enjoyed it every time. I loved it. Every single time I enjoyed that damn spin, even though I knew I wasn't winning. Right? Every single time. And these idiots on Reddit, they just kept complaining. And Slacks was saying it too. I remember seeing, me and Slacks were talking in person. He's like, yeah, they're going to take it off us. We're going to get TF2. They're going to forget about us because we're just never happy. No matter what they do, we're never happy. And that's what I knew it was coming. And here we are. Here we are. No battle pass, no fun, nothing. And see what John said. He's like, props to Valve. Now everything's free. Well, that's what Reddit
No.
wanted.
Okay,
No,
hold
no,
on,
no,
hold on.
no.
I want to hear about,
no.
about John's
No,
response here, Mike.
You're think about what Valve stated when they wanted to change how TI was monetized. They wanted it to be purely focused on esports. And look, like the TI prize pool, people are going to be
Come
negative
on,
about
John.
it. How? No.
All
Think
right,
about it
all right,
very
all
hard.
right.
Think about it very hard. Our prize pool has increased by $700,000 purely off of talent bundles and team bundles. You know how much stupid money that is? How much sales these teams must have made, the bigger teams, or collectively, talent must have sold significantly more than previous years. 700,000 out of 30% of those sales.
Okay.
You know, that's a huge amount of money purely off of the lowest tier items you could possibly buy in order to the lowest tier. Well, voice lines are good, but literally everything else is not something most people care for. In that sense, I think this is actually very positive feedback to Valve that people still care about esports because they spent a crap ton of money on stuff that don't cost very much. There's no whaling option. There's no whaling option. People had to buy these bundles. And it's $700,000, 30% coming out is $700,000 into the prize pool. That's significant. I mean, yes, again, it's a matter of it used to be 40 mil. Yes, it was. But that's when you were paying for all these cosmetics. You weren't paying for TI. Now, purely paying for TI, it's not a bad number, I would say. I think that's a lot of people that care about the game.
Okay.
Even without cosmetics. I think that's not a bad thing. And eventually, I'm sure Valve will release an event. They were supposed to release one, like Crownfall. Perhaps they will afterwards. God help us if they don't. But
Okay.
There it is, but that's my take.
You have a response for John's opinion?
Yeah, I guess I do. Like, I'm not. My argument isn't the prize money. My argument is that the battle pass it's a community thing, right? Like, imagine you go to Chinese New Year and you go to the Chinese New Year festival, and there's nothing going on. Imagine that. It's Chinese New Year, right? And nothing's happened. There's no food. There's no dancing dragons. There's no fireworks. No lanterns. Nothing. Nothing's happening. But hey, happy Chinese New Year. Happy. How great's that, John? And people showed up. People showed up. They showed up to the festival and they stood there doing nothing. Everything was free because there was nothing to sell. How great is that?
I think
Okay.
I think the comparison's apt to an extent, but like I get it. Like, the fireworks used to go off, but again, what Valve wanted in this refocus is just a focus on the esports aspect itself. And when it comes down to that, I think this is a better implementation than it was last year. I mean, you think about it. Last year you had to pay $300 for an Aegis. You could buy it at $150 now if that's something you cared for. Which, people who cared about esports cared about that prestige, that history. That is something they care for. $150 for Aegis. That's the lowest it's been. And you have a chance to get it 50 off. You have a chance to get it for free if you're in the top 100. Not that you're going to be gunning for that anyway. But I think again, in terms of refocusing it to the esports, it's good. What they did need to do was coincide this with something like Crownfall, right? Like that's entirely on Valve. That it's entirely on Valve that we've gone since January when the event theoretically ended and we haven't gotten anything new. That is completely on them. And hopefully they've cooked something good to make up for it with it not aligning with TI. Because last year we got the closing phase at TI. So, it's not esports related, it doesn't contribute to prize pool, but we had something, and that is certainly missing. I will agree, but I think when you look at the esports stuff again, I think it's honestly they did a decent enough job to appease every single person that's involved in it to an extent.
All right. Okay. So from 1 to 10, how happy with your expectation or maybe your hype of this year TI, Mike? 1 to 10.
A 1 to 10. I'll preempt this by saying John said to me,
Okay.
maybe a couple weeks before this event thing came out,
Okay.
whatever it's, I don't even know what it's called. I don't care, right? But it's John. John said to me, "What do you think the odds are they're gonna release the battle pass?" And you, John, you will confirm. I literally said, "There's no way they don't do it this year. There's no. It just
Mm.
doesn't make sense." So you hype wise, maybe like a 2.
Oh my
maybe.
God, Mike.
Hey, I'm being honest. That's
All right.
that's my honest opinion. That's my honest.
That's good
yeah.
stuff. That's good stuff. John, you
Yeah,
1 to 10.
I mean, I've heard so much. I feel betrayed by everyone.
You are
that's
the
been
one that
talking to
also
me.
convinced me to believe,
Yes.
John.
Yes, I wanted to believe. I would say, in terms of this actually coming in, my actual hype was when I saw it. I hit a 1. I don't think I was too happy. I wasn't happy.
John.
I wasn't happy. I mean, all the things I said a while ago is in retrospect. Like,
Yeah.
wow, people care. They spent like a lot of money on stickers and whatever the heck.
Uh-huh.
But I wanted a battle pass. You know,
Of course
Yeah.
we want.
I want-
Like Mike said, it's a Chinese New Year Eve.
Oh.
We want the lantern, we want the fireworks,
Mhm.
but we did not get that festival
No.
or something else. So yeah, I think it's reasonable. You guys give 2. John give 1. Oh my God, John! I'm expecting you like a 5 or maybe 6, but 1.
No.
Come on.
I was pretty sad, dude.
All right,
I was
all
real-
right.
I blame so many people for talking in my ear, telling me, John, the artists are saying,
Oh
the
my
artists are all saying they
God.
made stuff.
There
Where
was
is
a
it?
lot of talk. There was a
Okay.
lot of talk.
Okay, so let's move on for different topics. Still on the international. How about the original team that get invited and also qualified? Are you guys happy with the current teams? Because we're gonna talk about something that I don't know. This is also new for me, new for Dota 2 historic journey since the beginning until now. But my first question: how about the original teams and also the invited? The original teams that qualified and also the invited. Are you guys happy with the list, or you guys expecting other teams that qualified or maybe get invited? I will start with Mike this time.
Oh, I mean, honestly, overall, I have no problem with the list of teams. I
Okay.
think the teams are fine. The direct invites definitely were okay. I mean,
Mhm.
you can make an argument for the whole Yakato brother situation, right? Like, there's always
We're gonna talk about
I
that
think
after
it's fine.
this. We're gonna talk about
Right,
this. Okay,
right. I-
John.
no
Sorry.
drama for me.
No drama
Yeah.
for Mike. Okay, thank you, Mike.
No drama
John.
for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the invited teams were solid. I think the qualified teams were solid as well. I mean,
Mhm.
we watched qualifiers. The teams that did go in deserve to be in. So no real issues with the teams we have on
No
hand.
real
honestly.
issues.
No issues.
I think I'm
Alright.
actually happy that we got undercards in. You know, wild card, Nemesis in. That's pretty exciting.
Ah,
Blue
Yeah.
Moon Redemption in.
yeah.
So there's some good storylines there for sure. If they make it out of groups, big caveat there.
All right, I will talk
Make
about
me-
that because I have a question about your guys' prediction on the in-game prediction. So, but before that, we talk about something that, again, correct me if I'm wrong, this is never happens in the history of Dota, which is team that already invited, bold line, invited, withdraw from the tournaments, which is Gaming Gladiators situation with the players. There's a lot of rumors. I would just want to talk about it with you guys. If there's any information that you guys know, maybe you can share it with me, because the information that I know currently is the players wants to play at the international, but Gaming Gladiator have personal terms that did not meet the expectation between the organization and also the players, and then they decided with one side conversation, like they just announce it without any agreement with the players. So what do you guys think about this? Correct me if that the rumors is not true, and please give me information more about the situation. I will start with John because I think John have more information here. Mike.
Well, I actually have zero information in this one. I didn't dig in.
I
I'm not
think-
sure what's going
I
on.
think I'm inviting
you know?
the wrong John here, Mike.
no, I mean, look, it's not within my
Our
circle
range, yeah,
necessarily.
uh-huh.
I think it's a little bit far out. I mean, the gaming guys are great. I actually think we've talked to the head honchos of gaming. They were all nice.
Mhm.
So it's very surprising that all of this went down. I've heard different theories. You know, the theory that they want to play with side, the org didn't, which sounds crazy.
Mhm.
I've heard people theorizing prize pool wasn't paid, which is also insane. considering Gaiman's been expanding left, right, and center, and they've been pretty successful for the past few years. It just doesn't make sense. I think it's almost borderline wrong for a team, an org, to have that contractual power to stop a player or
Mhm.
stop players from playing without the org. I think that is pretty ugly, but I know what the legalese is in the background. It's ugly overall. I think that's all I'm getting from this. It's just a very bad situation for especially the players, for like Quinn and company.
Yeah, I think it's a bad situation. Even the player did not able to keep the slot to them to find a new sponsors.
Mm.
The gaming gladiator just withdraw and then get replaced. But Mike, first, do you have any thoughts on this situation with the teams that, or maybe the new history in the Dota pro scenes team that get invited withdraw without maybe quote unquote permission from the players? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's no two ways about it. Like, I think John was being a bit nice about it. I think it's just outright wrong. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's just, it was a wrong move. John and I have met all the CEOs of Gaming. I'm not even going to pretend. I've met the boys. I've talked to them many times. They're very nice lads, very
Mhm.
nice
Yeah.
people. But this is a really, really, really poor decision. I can see how it could have come to this stage because I mean, these players can be a bit ego-y, you know, and the CEOs might have had an ego too. And it's like, well, we're not going to back down. We're not going to
Mhm.
back down. And then the team managers were like, well, if you're not going to back down, you know, we've got the final cards in our hands, so we're gonna, you know, we're just going to do what we're going to do. And I think it's a horrible choice. It's such a horrible choice. I mean, PR-wise, it's just bad. You know, it's hard to
Okay.
play the villain in esport. You can't play villain in esport. It's so hard. You know, ATF tried. It's impossible. You know, it's and then yeah, it's just I don't know what they're doing. Like, why make that choice?
Mm.
Like just to save your competitors from taking the team. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird choice.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of poor decision, bad situation, and then mix up become one situation that maybe gaming as an organization cannot find a solution. The teams also, the players cannot find the solution because on what I read right now, the players wanted to compete independently, but Valve rules blocked that alternative path.
I see.
Okay, so that's the current organization claims and also things that spread it on the Reddits and also all the social media right now. So again, from this case, I will talk about something else, which is the gaming gladiators replacement, the Yakuto, something that it's not even my expectation to be replaced by Yakuto because there's a lot of teams that may be more, well, let's say deserve to be played in the international. And also, I heard the rumor it's supposed to be Shopify slot, but because Shopify get this ban, they give it to Yakuto. I will start with Mike. Mike, what do you think about the Yakuto replacement as a replacement for gaming? Is it at the same level or I don't know? What do you thought about that?
I don't think it's as hype, like that's for sure. I think, you know, if you had Shopify or like, you know, you just threw OG in somehow or so, like obviously be way more hype with the big names,
Uh
but
huh.
I think they deserve it. I think it's fine. They were pretty close in the Chinese qualifiers, weren't they? If
Mm-hmm.
I remember correctly, something like that, John, weren't they?
Yeah,
Do
I
you
don't really
remember?
remember
It
anymore. My
doesn't remember.
memory's
It
that
doesn't
of
matter.
fish.
Mm-hmm.
Look, they're fun. It'll be exciting to like think about it. Emo gets to the top four. You know, grand finals. He question marks them in game 3. Like, could you imagine?
Come
Everyone would forget
on.
about the battle pass. Everyone would forget. Who cares about the battle pass? Emo's question mark. It's a great choice to. It's great.
All
Don't
right.
worry about it. These guys will do fine.
Okay. Yeah, they
I,
they they finish on the second position on the China qualifiers. Yeah. Okay, John,
mm.
Right.
on your right now.
I know there was I don't know if I saw this on Reddit. I saw it somewhere. There is a power ranking internally that they do use
Oh.
for replacements, and I think I don't recall seeing Shopify there. I do remember one team that was actually contacted but said no because of visa issues. Do with that what you will. That's very obvious
Mm-hmm.
without spelling it out. But one team was approached. There's like a week for visas. No way in hell that's happening. So they said no. I don't know if Shopify was considered. I don't think they were. I think OG's rankings are too low in that list.
Mm.
Secret, obviously, just aren't even in that consideration. So I think by that power ranking thing they've had, it really was just Yakuto Brothers after another choice.
Okay.
So it's not like pick and choose were figured out. They did have numbers for it. Think about the Esports World Cup and the EPT points. I know internally they use something like that. They have some sort of weighting system to figure out for that hierarchy. And yeah, I think their first or second choice, I'm not sure which, had to say no. So Yakuto came in. And them as a replacement, I mean, Gaiman hasn't been in the best of form. I think
Mhm.
Yakuto could perform to at least the same degree. So it should be relatively even in terms of replacement. How far they get, I don't know. The only thing I know, and Mike will enjoy this one, the only thing I know is BCop's probably very happy to see Yakuto Brothers getting in. So there you go. That's the one thing I do know.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
happy.
You're not wrong. You're
Okay.
not wrong, John.
Okay. Do you have any other opinions, Mike, to respond, John?
About B Cop or no, the teams are fine. Yakuto Brothers are fine.
Yakuto brother is fine. Okay.
They're great.
Okay, since you mentioned about the visas problems, we have one players that from my country. The only reason I want to watch TI this year because there is no duo from Talons. There's only Whitemon supposed to be there, but because of this mother F visa problems, I cannot watch my Indonesian representative in the international, which is Whitemon. Is quite makes me okay. Can I not doing a casting this year because I really wants to watch Whitemon to play in the this year the international, but somehow the news came out yesterday, I do believe, and then it's kind of okay what I'm gonna do now. I mean, as an Indonesian, of course, this is kind of something that destroy our hope to see Whitemon to wins the international. But my question to you guys not about that, how this gonna affect Tundra in terms of the power of them? I mean, like they are a good powerhouse in terms of Dota 2 scenes right now. Even though with the Chrysalis as the carry, that everybody's talking about how bad Chrysalis as a carry. But Mike, what do you think about replacing Whitemon with Toby? I believe Toby. Yeah, Toby.
Yeah, I
Okay, go on.
mean, Toby himself as a player is like fantastic. There's no two ways about that.
Yep.
Like, I don't think replacement wise, like skill wise, is definitely not a problem. The thing I think with Whitemon is he's the kind of player that you really value because he's just gonna be quiet and do his damn job every single time consistently. And that's the thing, right? Like, I don't know how much he talks. I don't know how much leadership he likes to take. You know, what I get worried about is the chemistry between the players. Like,
Yeah.
you know, how used to, and Chrysalis, like you mentioned as well, it's like, is he going to be able to adapt that quickly? You know, he's not a Yatoro, right? Can he adapt that quickly to a new POS 5 with him? I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see. My big thing is though, Whitemon, I always said he was probably the best POS 5 coming out of SCA. You know I did, John. I said it over and over
Yep.
again.
Yep.
You know, I think it's a huge loss for Tundra. I'm
Uh-huh.
worried about their chemistry, at least in the safe lane now. And yeah, I think Whitemon kind of offers you something you can't replace, which is just a guy that's going to consistently do his job and just shut up. Just shut up and do your job. He does that really damn well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that he does. I think in terms of Toby, if you think about it, like out of all the choices you could have made, Toby's probably the best bet right now. I mean, you look at him standing in for Liquid in the most recent Wallachia and in Fisher Playground, he did fantastic. You know, Playground was a very good run for Liquid, of course, but he also has these connections. You know, he's played with Crystallis before. He's played with, I believe, BZM as well. I'm not sure if he was in that same iteration of Creepwave, but I'm sure they played a lot in pubs. And he's already very familiar with Crystallis. I'm sure he's played with a lot of these players in their pubs. They should know how he plays. They should know what he does. And again, his recent results have shown well standing in for Insania. So I think individually, it's a matter of chemistry, like Mike said, whether or not they can get the same chemistry going. Can they kind of adapt their play style? How can they integrate Toby to what Whitemon used to do? Will the hero pools be too different? Will you lose some of that aspect of it? I think in chemistry as well, with how Whitemon's character is, I feel like he also just brings a vibe to the team. You know, good
He's
old
very
Matt
joyful.
Philemon brings a vibe. Yeah, he does. He
He's a
is,
very
and we've
joyful
seen that
man.
in his C teams, in TSM,
Mm-hmm.
in his time in Tundra. He's always brought like a good vibe for the team. So I don't know if Toby does the same thing. I'm not too familiar with stories, but hopefully he does. And yeah, I mean, I think it's just every time I think about this for Whitemon, I'm just stuck with like, why? Like the guy has like probably 10 visas stamped on his
Multiple
passport.
spam, yeah.
That could be enough. He has like an American visa. Is that not the key to any visa? Is that not a
anymore.
guarantee?
Not anymore.
I mean,
John.
no. I mean, by visa, yes, it is. I don't know how you could reject that. Like,
Well,
legitimately.
some people told me that the main reason, maybe the main reason, is because Indonesian situation right now that not
No, it doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Right? Whitemon's not a politician. He's
I
not on
know,
the run
right? I know, right?
using
It's
government money.
the rumor that
He,
I
he has
heard.
a weird fan that goes like this. Like he's just an everyday Indonesian with a weird ass fan. Let him go. You know
Well,
why?
what are you expecting? I mean, like, some people in Indonesia, some fans of Whitemon already mentioning Whitemon. Whitemon, please keep trying, keep trying. You still have 4 days, but I think
No,
it's
impossible.
it's impossible. First, it's impossible. Second one, I think Tundra already made the decision that allow Whitemon to rest a bit for this final event for the international, and then Whitemon also already already messaged me that, well, it's not doable anymore to get the visa, and he want to take this time to take a holiday with the family. So yeah, I think it's time for a good rest without thinking about, oh yeah, next week I will be flight again to America to get doing the boot camp, and then